This is the Sand Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you guys, the real star of today's show and everyday's show, and in so many different ways. So I apologize for being a little late. My morning started by getting the show all prepped, sat down, ready to stream, and all of a sudden I got the blue screen of death, and I literally had to scramble to get everything back on my project, ready to go, and here we are 3-4 minutes late. So I apologize. I take great pride in being on time, and today we are late. So I'm sorry about that, but it is Monday. I guess it's Monday. I got a case of the Mondays. Happy Monday to you guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I and my good friends had an exceptionally good weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the show. Actually, probably throughout the show a little bit. So what is going on in sim racing today? And coming off the weekend, we have a bit to talk about. Had a lot of stories sent in to me, so I want to thank The Man for sending some in. Got a bunch of stories on the Discord channel, and a few even sent to me directly by email. So I appreciate all the help in building up the pit stops. And, you know, every morning when I'm saying you guys are the real star of the show in so many ways, I really mean it. The chat that you provide during the show, the stories that get sent in to me, rigs getting sent in, just the conversation, the friends, the camaraderie. So I appreciate that, and you guys really are the star show. So what is going on out of Forza? Not a whole lot to talk about. They had another one of these mixers, so this was on Friday they did this, and I somehow missed it, but you can see it there. So here is mixer.com, where you'll find the Forza Motorsport stream that went on Friday. This was with Meckberg. I believe that's Brian Meckenberg, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's his real name. There we go. So they're showing off some of the newer features. Yep, Brian Eckberg. Sorry, not Meckenberg. Brian Eckberg. He's the community leader, I believe, is his official title, and he's been with the Forza camp for, gosh, probably 5-6 years now, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want some info on the latest, greatest from Forza, you can find that out. Again, that aired last Friday, I do believe. Could be off my dates a little bit, but I did miss that, so it's the first I'm telling you about it. They had the other, mixers that we've talked about. We talked about, the girly girl, Verena May. I didn't mean to call her girly girl. The drifter girl who does a lot of Forza stuff as well. And then just in 46 minutes ago, Xbox Gold for Honor and something about games with gold. Don't know how that applies. What else? What else? Sorry. And everything's going to load slow as you see everything's blinking. That's because that blue screen that went on, and my products haven't been clicked through now. Just reminding you guys that the Project Cars A1 Esport kicked off last week for the Australian Esport version. Austria, I'm sorry, Austria. I'm looking right at it, and I'm saying Australia, and I think I even put Aussie. Hey, I thought there was an Australian one. Project Cars, come on thing, click. Nope, this is Austria. Wow, I typed it wrong. I put Aussie Esport. I meant Austria Esport. Anyway, we have the countdown for the next qualifier, which will be in 5 days, 19 hours, 52 minutes, and 34 seconds. So you Austrian Project Cars lovers need to get out there and take part in that one. Maybe want to just be there to view the event as well. So there you go. That's going on the Project Cars 2 front. The post out of Formula One, the game today is the wait is almost over. So they've released their final dev diary. And this is from their art and audio developer diary number 4. Talking about the art and audio of the game. And F1 2018 is literally all over the place. Everyone's talking about it right now. We're so close. We're 4 days away from the release. I'm playing it. I'm going to be doing another stream today. That post was actually by Paul Geel. He is the lead man out of the F1 2018 camp. So there you go. WRC, I've been telling you guys the big finals, the big finale was this last weekend. And so a lot of cool pictures of what went on. You can see the Playseat. I forget what they call their big rig. That is a big rig by Playseat. Nothing like their other rigs. Some cool photos. John Armstrong won the whole thing. Guy won a Hyundai i20 Coupe. He's the one who goes by W.E.D. Armstrong. Mihaler took second place and gets the WRC gaming station. with a play seat and Thrustmaster TSPC wheel. And then Subi, who's actually, you know, this is probably the clear favorite going in, ended up taking third and winning a WRC rally seat. So that all went out, and again, there are cool photos of everything that went on, and you can check that out at the WRC official games. But congratulations, I mean, we're racking up some big prize money in sim racing. Yes, Subi looks sad, and you know, this guy, I think going in, we covered his name more than anybody else. WED, same team, WED John Armstrong and WED Subi, but that is big news. I mean, that's a huge prize. What is that, a $30,000 car the guy won? iRacing, I don't know if you guys know. We'll talk a little bit more about this at the end of the show, but there was a big race this weekend, 24-hour Le Mans. You could say it's a big race, one of the special events on iRacing. And anyway, I guess they were a little bit bored and doing a 23-hour race, so they just did the cone cam to see how many people kicked out that cone on that entry on that right-hander, very fast braking zone there. A lot of people were taking out the cone, and it made it hard for the next guy coming in to know exactly where he is on the track. So, what else? GT Planet talking about the Forza Powered Le Mans Esport Series, which began this weekend. I think I have a few stories or a few mentions of this here today. But this is $160,000. So as we talk about esport growth, esport getting bigger, the amount of money, the amount of, you know, how many guys are going to make a living in sim racing this year? And maybe some of them won't make a great living, but, you know, you can go work at Taco Bell for minimum wage. Or if you're a good esport driver, you could probably make minimum wage for the year if you could rack up some wins in various things. And if you're one of the leaders, I dare say that, you know, the top 5 this year could actually make a very good living, it seems like. You think of the FA Racing, the Fernando Alonso Logitech team. Those guys are getting in on every single event. I know they're huge in the Forza Road Championships. That makes them prime for this. And, you know, $160,000 is nothing to sneeze at. The only good cones are filled with ice cream. Gotta love it. All right, what else we got to talk about today? Race department talking about the My Summer Car update. I played this game and I liked it a lot. And I wanted to replay it offline in order to build the car, essentially, and not get consumed with beer and other things. I don't know if I'd have the energy in terms of in the game, the energy to build the whole car without needing to go for hot dogs and beer. But there it is, and I know there's some things you need like oil and stuff. But I did want to try it again, just never got around to it. There was a new update a while ago, about 6 weeks ago maybe, that was pretty significant, and now there is another update. And you can find the full list of changes. I know that's going to make Fajita Joe very happy that Summer Car got another update. This is the August 2018 update. And just to name a few things, valve adjustments. So you got to be careful with your valve adjustments. Graphical glitches, fixed issue, game clock not working, front wheel alignment. So a bunch of little issues fixed on the surprisingly awesome game, Summer Car. All right. Big news. Big news, everyone. Fanatic. Are you feeling lucky? The auction for the DD1 is starting Monday, 8 p.m. AEST. I don't even know what AEST is. That's a new time format that I'm unfamiliar with. But no auction will end above the regular pre-order price. That's a guarantee. It is guaranteed that there will be several units sold well below the regular price. And make sure you're logged in if you want to bid. All auctions start at 1 AUD. Australian. This is the Australian. Is that Australian Eastern? Yep. Thank you, Steam King. So this is the Australian auction. Interesting. What about me? What about my auction? I thought this was all of them. Does that mean they're going to do an auction for every region? Oh, I'm so confused. If anybody has any clarity on that, feel free to correct me. Or feel free to let us know. They didn't have anything on the blog. This is all they have about it are these 2 posts. So good luck and stay tuned for more information. The other thing is, they say Monday. Isn't today Monday? This was posted on Friday. 8 p.m. Australian time might be literally right now, and they say stay tuned for more information. I don't see 11 hours ago. It's starting Monday at 11, and there's not really any more information. So hopefully they will clarify things a little bit, and hopefully this is fun for those who want to play the game of buying one. I'm supposing that if you really, really, really wanted a podium wheel, you would have just bought it instead of playing the game. But you can play the game and get one under price, so that's not a bad game. Not a bad game to play. It's not America first. Can you believe it? What is up with that? Oh, well, I guess things have changed. FA Racing talking about the 24-hour Le Mans, where they kicked off the Le Mans 24 WEC Esport Series. So here's some cool photos out of that. And you'd love to buy me one. Thank you, Brandon. That's a novel idea. I should probably get you my address or something so you could even do such a thing. But anyway, we have some cool pictures here. Oh, look, they're doing that challenge, the Ninja Lage. This is Lage, G2 Lage, giving the can you hand-eye touch coordination test that we saw them doing at McLaren, I think it was. Was it McLaren? Who did this test recently? Somebody just very, very recently did this. Fernando Alonso was there talking about it, doing some press stuff. This is all at the FA Racing G2 Logitech site. But this was a big deal. Fernando back at the endurance game. Arlene Mallet doing a gridlock. So obviously these guys had some, you know, if there's ever a team to be with, it's going to be Fernando Alonso. It's going to come with some additional perks that probably exceed others. They're also talking about the ESL Project Cars, Austria. Austria, not Australia. It's not Aussie. It's Austria. And some results from the weekend and a lot of good stuff. So if you want to find out more about that, you can find that at FA Racing and some cool photos and write-ups on things like that. Thrustmaster also talking about the WRC event that went on, congratulating John Armstrong on the I-20 Coupe Hyundai win. I believe he gets a rig as well. That's why we have a Thrustmaster representative there handing him the trophy. Australia, not Austria. No, it's Austria, not Australia, Josh. So Thrustmaster was heavily involved in that WRC Esport competition, so a little coverage out of them as well. Rickmotech congratulating Lonnie Unser and their team on the 24-hour race that they just took part in. They talk about everyone with their heart and soul into the 24-hour. They finished P4 overall, which they are pleased with, and you never realize how long 24 hours is until you have to keep... All right, what's the end of the sentence, everyone? You never realize how long 24 hours is until you have to keep your... What? Best answer is going to get a very cool image of a 1080 Ti video card. You just send me an email if you're the winner, and I'll send you a cool, awesome image of a 1080 video card. 1080 Ti. But best line of finish that sentence is certainly worthy. It sounds like a game show type thing. So let's go ahead and hit the story and find out what the answer was. 24 hours is until you have to keep your car running. You got to keep it running to make 24 hours. 24 hours is a lot of time to keep a car running. So anyway, cool post out of them. Rickmotech also congratulating some teams we'll talk about in the 24-hour. They had a couple teams running in that as well. So Rickmotech was well represented in the 24 hours of Le Mans on iRacing, which we're going to talk about in a moment. What else we got? World's Fastest Gamer is reminding us once again, less than a week until fans get to go behind the scenes to see how Rudy Van Buren became a McLaren F1 simulator driver thanks to the World's Fastest Gamer powered by Mil Esport on ESPN. And you know, we know the story. We are there. We took part. We played in. I even made a run at World's Fastest Gamer. I took part in it. Not at that level, but they are doing a really cool documentary. I believe it's a 4-part series on ESPN, and that's going to start next week, and it goes between practice 3 and qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see how they represent a handful of things. I want to see how they speak and talk about sim racing. Like, do they refer to it as gaming? Do they refer to, oh, we had a lot of gamers do this? Or do they treat it like as though they had gone and found a bunch of karters and did the same exact competition? So that'll unfold next week, and again, that'll be cool, and great primetime coverage during F1, or right sandwich between F1 coverage. So video cards, the world's exclusive MSI's GeForce RTX 2080 Ti Gaming X Trio. So we're getting our first sight. They're here. They're coming, people. Here come the new video cards. You know, you wonder why you're seeing all these great deals on 1080s and 1080 Tis and 1080s that come with motherboards and whatnot. It's because these suckers are on the way, and they're coming in at a price point that is going to really make it kind of hard to purchase the old when these seem to be coming in at very reasonable prices. When I heard word of the next gen cards, I have to admit, I got scared. I'm like, you know, I'm not ready for $2,000 video cards, but that was sort of like the direction the market had been taking us for quite some time. And it looks like these new batches, the next gen cards, are coming in about the same price point as what the previous gen were. So like I said, it's going to make it hard to justify buying an old one. Just mentioning Playseat. You know, Playseat, to be honest with you, their F1 rig is okay. I think their fold-up seat, the Challenge, is maybe one of the greatest portable seats you can get. So, you know, I call a spade, or I say it how it is. I'm not a big fan of a standard Playseat with a center post. They work. They're a good starter rig, but when you get hardcore, that's not going to hang with a heavy, strong wheel. Their F1 rig was kind of cool and intriguing and a good step in the right direction, but still lacking that pro sim rig quality. It was a pro look, but maybe not the pro quality that I wanted. And then they did finally make the Sensation Pro, which is, and somebody mentioned that when I had glazed over their, I called it their big rig. The Sensation rig is a very impressive rig, but it's also one of the more expensive rigs that you're going to find out there. But the reason I'm bringing up Playseat today is because they now officially have the Formula One, the new F1 Formula One branded versions. They had the Formula E before. They had the Red Bull one. They've had like F1-ish, but this is kind of like the next gen of their sponsorship and, you know, working with or getting the licensing of Formula One. So I just figured I'd mention that for anybody who's looking for that branded type seat that represents. Let's see here. So this place, I brought this up. This was sent in to me by John Searle. John, I've never asked you how you say your last name. Searle. Anyway, so there's this place here, and this is in Switzerland, Horgen, Switzerland. And this is a sim center, and it's called Racing Fuel Biz Serious Racing Simulator, Swiss Engineering. And this cool looking place, and you know, they have a website with some pros talking about it, some driver training academy, really cool looking sim center that they have there. And the reason I'm mentioning it today is because sim centers are cool, and if you're in that region, you're going to want to head over to Horgen, Switzerland and find out about it. But there's a team that is called Team RSO that actually was able to run the 24-hour Le Mans out of that sim center. So these guys were there at Racing Fuel Academy running in these very cool, I've never seen this simulator. This looks purpose built for them. I've never seen it before. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we have some cool images of Team SRO doing their 24-hour Le Mans in public view. I mean, look, you got kids coming in, but this was, talk about a great place to run a race. And when I get to talking about the Le Mans, I'm going to be talking about running with friends, and even cooler when you can just do it all together. So I thought that was cool, and a little icing on the cake of just telling you guys about a cool sim center that, you know, if you're in the region, you're going to want to check that out. They're always worth going by and driving some sims or looking at. Look, they got a nice little bar here. So what else? This could be one of the reasons why we're not seeing huge escalated prices of the new gen computer graphics cards. But I saw a handful of stories, so I just brought this one for no reason because I didn't want to talk about it 3 times. But cryptocurrencies miners cryptocurrency miners' demand for NVIDIA computer chips evaporates. I saw a couple of different things. NVIDIA did an article talking about how that's not going to be in the way of purchasing a new video card. The cryptocurrency mining is not going to stand in the way of us getting good deals on graphics cards. So anyway, it just lets you know that perhaps the panic on the whole graphics card industry. Now, if we could just get other things to come back down, like isn't RAM still a little out of control price wise? And you know, we're now seeing like terabyte solid state hard drives for $289, I think was the last I checked, and yet RAM is still ridiculously expensive. I think it's RAM that's still overpriced, if I'm not mistaken, and graphics cards drastically and quickly coming down. Burnout Paradise Remastered is finally out as of today. Well, play first release date today. Yeah, August 20th, 2018. Over the last couple of months, we've mentioned a few times that this game has been remastered and is being put out again for the next gen stuff. So if you always love Burnout Paradise, but you haven't played it because it felt just a little old, you might want to check out the new version. And as of today, this was sent in to me. I cannot remember his name. It was the person who is behind it. Give me one moment. Pyro Frog Studios. Pyro Frog Studios. So I got an email from Bernie at Pyro Frog Studios saying, hey, we have this thing called Reality Blender. And this is exactly what I was saying was the biggest flaw of VR when it first came out and I first started trying VR. I'm like, but what about seeing my buttons? What about seeing my peripherals? So there's a video on YouTube right now, Reality Blender Early Access Steam. Yes, it's on Steam Early Access. So this is something, it's play for free as of now. DLC content for this is $3.99. And again, this is in the early access version of it. But what you are looking at is so cool. You basically put a green screen in your world. You put a webcam on top of your VR unit, and it can now overlay what you're seeing into the game. How cool is this? It could be your wheel. It could be your keyboard, your button box. But look at this. This guy is seeing his hands, seeing his controllers, and playing. Is that Elite Dangerous? I don't think. Is that Elite Dangerous? That might be Elite Dangerous. I'm not sure. But this is the cure. This, in my opinion, here we are in sim racing. Look at this. And I see a lot of green screen videos. When you see videos that look like this is what people like me, YouTube streamers, are doing to show you the effect. But that's not how they're playing. They're playing standard. They're just using a green screen to block out everything else. In this case, he is playing. This is what he is seeing in his VR. And to me, this is, again, this is what, honestly, and I'm not turning it into a rant, why is this coming from a third-party developer before it came from Samsung, from PlayStation, from Oculus? Why do we have to wait for a third party and adding a webcam when the cam should have been and could have been and probably will be in the future integrated into the front? Yeah, all you have to do is wrap everything in a green screen to accomplish it. You were right, George, and the streamers who do that have to go through the same thing. But for you VR techie people, you have a webcam laying around, you might want to check it out. It is in early access, so you can try it out for sure. Anyway, Bernie, thank you for sending that in for sure, and I'll contact you about maybe trying it on the show. I see that Amazon is selling the Oculus for $349, and I'm this close to pulling the trigger. You guys tell me I should or tell me I shouldn't, but I am this close to buying a VR. I just can't hold out any longer. I know the next gen are coming, but I just want to play with it from time to time. And so I've been holding out. $350 seems like a pretty good deal for me. So hopefully I'll be able to get that. Anyway, no, but it's not. No. That's the big difference to the Moan. This is not for streaming. This is for playing. This is what he is seeing in his VR. Totally different than what you're seeing from the streamers who do the green screen to block out everything because they're running in VR, and then they put their camera overlay into the game. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, is it gonna get cheaper? Is it gonna get cheaper than $349? I don't know. And when is the next gen coming? Because I'm gonna be really mad if I spend $349 and then the next one comes out and it's $900, and I'm like, oh, can't afford it. I spent $349 on the old one. So WMR, yeah, I had less luck with WMR than I did with Oculus. Buy it now or you'll unsub. Oh, that is a threat of threats from my good buddy Tom. That means that if Tom's saying it like that, I gotta. So, all right. Gear Nuke, Forza Horizon 4 soundtrack leaked. Rumor. So, again, who knows if it is. But if you guys want to know what's coming in the next version of Forza, as a streamer, the soundtrack is the first thing I have to turn off or all my videos get pulled. So, that's of no consequence or significance to me, but maybe you guys will like it. I've tried the Samsung. I've tried the Vive. I've tried Oculus. I, all in all, prefer Oculus, with the Vive coming in a close second, and I would probably mash the two together to create an even better one. But if I only had one, I think I would go with the Oculus personally. So anyway, Gear Nuke has that if you want to know the soundtrack and what's going to be in. And again, rumor, leaked rumor. We're getting a lot of leaks. Could just be fake news. The Verge. Valve accidentally unveils its new Twitch-like Steam broadcasting. And I had heard of another, like they had done like their Netflix, I believe. I think it was also Steam that did this. But they literally rolled out like their Netflix thing and then canceled it right away. And then now I guess they accidentally put up their new Twitch-like steaming service. So lots of things going on in that competition right now between Steam trying to maintain its hold on being the #1 platform and all the new ones that are coming in. And then on top of that, companies like Discord who are coming at it from a completely different angle. But look at it, by tomorrow, something like Discord, which gets you with the great community stuff that it does, could then become one of the great point-of-purchase sales places once they have a huge community. Steam. Streaming platform for Valve's Dota tournament. Stream. The Steam stream. Thank you. I don't know. I'm back and forth missing letters here. PNY accidentally publishes the RTX 2080 Ti XLR 8 landing page. So with that, it was claiming it's going to be $1,000. Now, this was accidental, which means everything could have been a placeholder, including the price. But like I said, these prices that I'm hearing and seeing is starting to really look like the next-gen video cards are going to be what we go to, and they're going to have to give... They're going to have to almost give away the old ones. I mean, if you think like $600 is cheap for a Ti, I would imagine you're going to see that down to $499, days before these start hitting the shelves. So, good news for us gamers, that's for sure. Gizmo's Freeware talking about how to get a Windows 10 upgrade for free. I hated my upgrade for free because then when I had to go reformat for some reason, I didn't have the Windows 10, and then it wasn't there anymore, and it's like, that's a tease then, because now I don't have it. I've had a little problem. I bought Windows 10, and it won't let me upgrade one of them. I'm not a big Windows fan as of lately. I've always been a diehard Windows fan, but lately they've been really making me mad. Making me mad. HardcoreGamer.com. Talking about another new game exclusive. Caged Element aims to fill the multiplayer roll cage void with grip. So, there you go. Some shots of that one. If that looks entertaining to you, you can go find that at Hardcore Gamer. Looks a little too gamey for my... By the point that I go to a game of this much gaminess, I might as well go play some Grand Theft Auto. Or, no, that's not even a good one. I might as well go play some Roller Coaster Tycoon. You know, if it's not a sim, it's hard to get me that entertained with a driving game. You can use Windows 7 to load Win 10. I ended up buying a copy, so in the end, it's not a big deal. I have the proper one now. Too many computers to keep track of is the other problem. But, anyway, yeah, but if you guys are into that, you'll find that at Hardcore Gamer. What else? Dark Side of Gaming, talking about a new SA San Andreas DirectX 2.0 mod makes Grand Theft Auto San Andreas look almost as good as modern day video games. So if you are one of the old school guys who plays your old games, hates paying for the new ones, you're going to be able to get a lot more out of the old San Andreas. I haven't played that one in forever. I don't even know if I dig. That's on my old system, isn't it? I don't think that's even on the Xbox One. That was on the 360, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, there you go. Like I said, F1 2018 is all over. I'll tell you where, and I'll tell you the title. You can read it yourself if you want. But, you know, 4 days away from a very, very big game release. Polygon.com, F1 2018. Come for the racing, stay for the career. I like that. That's something I'm looking forward to out of the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Codemasters has an article here. The Dev Diary, we talked about that. I thought I had another F1 2018 story. What do you mean, Christopher? Christopher, what exactly do you mean? Is it this slow on Sim News? How much Sim News do you really expect Monday through Friday? And I'm not trying to call you out. It's just an interesting way you wrote that in my chat. Is it this slow? Is it this slow that we talk about what? Video cards? Is it this slow that we talk about remastered versions of San Andreas? Is it this slow that we talk about failed launched pages of cards? I'd love to know what you mean, buddy. I really would. I really would, because I don't think of it as a slow day, and I don't think of it as us covering things that don't. Grand Theft Auto. Okay, but all right. Christopher, I love, you guys are the real star of the show, so I'm not trying to call you out. I hope you understand that. I love conversation. I love debate. No, it's not hate. It's that we all have different opinions on where we draw the line. Where do we draw the line in what we consider a sim? And yes, the sim pit. We are about sim racing. I run hardcore sims. But at the same time, I think of this as automotive gaming culture. We all like cars. We all like video games. There are very, very few of us who are just into driving. Yes, this is a driving show, but I think 99% of us are gamers. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. I love Plague Inc. on my phone. I love World of Warships. It goes a lot beyond. So I do understand where you're coming from, because Grand Theft Auto is not even close to a sim. It is 100% game. So, but yeah, I think it's applicable to a certain amount of the audience. Maybe it's just a small percentage, and that's why sometimes I go more into detail on certain topics. And like when we talked about, for example, this grid, I don't need to talk about it in great detail. I just want people who are interested in that type of a driving game to be aware of it. And I think that's it. I'm trying to raise awareness on certain topics, and not every topic is going to apply to everybody. Like, to be honest with you, when I cover like the computer tech stuff, like I don't know anything about video cards. I'm like just telling my friends, tell me which one to buy and I'll get it. I don't know anything about motherboards. I'd buy the wrong motherboard. So I tell that because a lot of our guys are into that tech. Anyway, I hope you don't mind me calling you out on your comment. Well, I said I wasn't calling you out. I didn't mean it in a negative way. But anyway, I love taking little diversions, so always feel free to say whatever to me, you guys. I mean, I have thick skin. I might get defensive, but I do have thick skin, and I love debate. So I didn't pull up the video on this one, but I wanted to. And I hate covering stories at Driving Italia because the stories through Translate never work. Like, I can't play the video. But here was a game versus real life onboard comparison of F1 2018. And you can just see from the image that it's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Need more trucking news. We cover trucking news as well. We definitely do. Thank you, Stan. Thank you all. I appreciate it from everybody, and including people who question everything. All right, what else we got to talk about? Space Ribbon. Oh, here. Now I'm really pushing it, though. I will admit, this is one that's really pushing it, in my opinion. Handheld players, so this is for the Switch. But Space Ribbon, which I'll just show you 1 second of, because I like the engine sticking out of the hood. But you're not going to find me playing this anytime soon. But for those Twitch owners, you might be looking for anything entertaining, because I don't know how much... I've never used the Switch, the Twitch. What else we got? New Yamaha and Polaris quads roll up to MX versus ATV all-out grid. So you've got another DLC pack ranging from $159 to $239 per vehicles, or $399 to $479 for bundle packs of the Yamaha and Polaris kits. So there you go. That's more news for you all. What else? I got a few more things to talk about. Sorry again for the slow refresh. That all is a result of the blue screen of death that I got earlier, right before the show. Article here, and I've often wondered this myself. And from what I read in the article, they kind of confirmed where I was coming from. But PC Gamer saying, should I buy refurbished PC parts? You know, if you shop on Amazon, you'll see such and such product for $300, refurbished for $200. And I have always bought the 300. I've never bought a refurbished, but every time I'm like, well, why not? You know, you think of refurbished. For whatever reason, it went back to the manufacturer. They made the repairs, and here's the big deal that is mentioned in this article. They test that product before they send it back out. When they make 1 million video cards, they test a controlled batch. So if they're making 1 million cards, maybe every 1,000th card they're testing and checking. But for the most part, the run just goes on. Every refurbished card is actually literally being tested, which means functionally you know it works. But they go on to say that that should, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will last any longer. Anyway, if you've always considered whether you should or shouldn't, or wondered whether you should or shouldn't, you can check that out at PC Gamer. I will not buy a refurbished Oculus. That's for sure. Tom's going to buy my old Oculus. It'll be old. So this was also at Driving Italia's where I found it. This one I did look up. This is the Race Room VW Golf GTI TCR at Nordschleife. Sim versus real. And look at that moment right there. And you have to do a little inspection to figure out which is real. And funny enough, you know what it is that points out the fake from the real? Real has imperfections and fake does not. So fake or sim being on top, the wheel is perfectly round perspective wise, and the cargo net is flat as can be. And in the real car, the net is stretched and kind of sagging a little bit, not so perfectly. But really great video. I love seeing these videos, especially when they show us just how well done some of our favorite sims are. And again, some of these moments in the track, you can't even tell the difference. And this is a really tough, that's actually one of the more clear, important parts. I don't know the names of Eau Rouge, but coming into this section here, down the hill, into that hard braking zone with a little right, left, and then back up the hill again. Really good job out of Race Room on their version of Nordschleife, it looks like. So I like those videos. You can check that out. It was just titled Race Room VW Golf GTI on YouTube, and you'll be able to find it. Watch the whole thing. Some refurbished Viagra and went sideways. Tom Jones getting the laugh of the day. Also at Driving Italia, they're talking about Assetto Corsa Lancia Delta S4 by Rally Legends is now available. That is a cool looking car. Wonder if there are enough tracks to really make it something, but they have a whole complete pack. And this is available for Assetto Corsa. You'll find that at Driving Italia, final version 1.0. And again, this is by the group of Rally Legends modding team. So if you want to go find that, you can find that. Your wife is a refurb. Oh. Oh, I'm sure she would hate to hear you say such a thing. Driving Italia also talking about the TCR mod for Project Cars 2 now available. This is the TCR mod, project dedicated to the homonymous World Tourism Series, is available as promised for P-Cars. Collaboration between CI Racers Online and the Rollovers. So, cool, more content for Race Room. I'm sorry, for Project Cars 2, if you want to check that one out. David, oh, you guys are, that's dirty. Thank you, Dan. I was going to say that. Wreckfest Monday. I'll tell you what I'm doing Monday. You guys might have to do your own thing Monday, and I'm open to negotiation, so we'll talk about it in the Discord room because, oh, I have a hard time not wanting to just play with my friends instead of working. I did have some work planned for tonight's Monday Fun Day, but we'll see. I'll throw it out there, and we'll talk about it on Discord, and we'll make a final selection this evening. True Achievements, talking about V-Rally 4 trailer, highlights the buggy vehicles. I'm running a little long now, way long actually. I started 3 minutes late. We're already at 9:45 and I'm not done. So, cool stuff out of V-Rally for those looking forward to that game. And it comes from a prestigious group, so I should be more pumped for that than I've been in the past. What else? Auto Sport, Formula E. Now, this is an interesting thing. Think back 4 years. When did Formula E start? When Formula E started, a lot of us gas, petrol head people mocked it, talked smack, whatever. Said it wouldn't make it. Said it wouldn't last. How's it going to do it? No one's going to care. Anyway, isn't it Andy Prelo? Yeah, Andy Prelo. I don't know how to say his name. Everyone's going to hammer me because he's like super famous. I should know his name. Preolx. Anyway, he did an article with Autosport, or an interview, and he said Formula E's rise shows that esports shouldn't be underestimated. And I think that's a very relevant point. Because even I wonder, well, will auto racing esport fulfill the money that's being dumped into it in a very short amount of time? If so much money gets in such a short amount of time, will they see the return on their investment? Or will it be, I mean, notice there wasn't a Visa Vegas this year. That was a one-time thing. I don't know if that was planned from the beginning or there just wasn't the enthusiasm for a second version. But don't underestimate where esport and where what we're doing can go. And when I'm saying that a handful of guys might make a very, very good living this year, it could accelerate. We could see more than just a handful of guys making a very good living this year. So that's going to do it for the news. What else do I have to talk about today? Well, congratulations are in order. I just want to pat on the back and thank my teammates, Stan Donnet, Brandon Waters, Billy Strange, Joa Antonio, Moses Choi, Amir Assad, Chris Bassett, and Bryce Evans, who couldn't race, but he was there to race. He just had a karting wreck the night of our race and couldn't race with us, but he was on the team. I also want to thank the managers, Kimber Waters and Joshua Peterson. But we had such an incredible 24-hour Le Mans race, and if any of you got a chance to see it, I aired all 24 hours, and this group put together one of the greatest team efforts I've ever seen. It started a month ago with endless amounts of practice. I want to thank Rick Motek for sponsoring the team. We're all going to get t-shirts as being part of the team, thanks to Rick Motek. I want to thank Sim Experience for putting up practice servers, but all of that paid off because we drove and we raced and we raced and we clawed our way to a win. We had a little bit of luck. We had a lot of good strategy. We had a lot of good mental preparation. Our guys were making smart choices on the track, and we finished without a scratch on that car. 24 hours of racing, 8 drivers in the car, not one scratch, only 21 incidents after 24 hours of racing. And it was honestly one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of. So I just want to congratulate the team, thank the team, because I am so proud of what we did. I just can't even believe that 8 of the 9 guys have never run an endurance race. 4 of the guys weren't even iRacing members a month ago. And Billy Strange Racing did an interview with most of the team last night, and I don't know when that's going to be coming up, but you're going to be able to hear us have like sort of our on-air celebration party. But it was a really, really incredible weekend for me and the guys. And again, I'm going to thank you, and I don't even mind. I've thanked you 100 times. I'm going to thank you 100 more because I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud to be part of the team. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. It was so awesome. And if you didn't get a chance, go check out some of the footage. You'll find it right here on the SimPit Crew channel. And the last thing I'm going to finish with, oh, where's my photo? I have a photo. I'm going to have to see if I can pull that up real quick. Did I already get the photo? Bear with me, everybody. Sorry. One more thing I want to show you. So, F1 2018, Monday Fun Day. You know, I still have F1 2018. I ran the first race of the season in career mode. And I think I want to dive deeper into the career mode because, you know, I was drafted by Ferrari to be in this. So anyway, tonight at 6 o'clock, I will probably be doing more career mode in F1 2018. That is, unless the guys can convince me that we need to do something else like Wreckfest. So who knows what'll happen, but we'll be back on there at 6 o'clock with something fun for sure. And Spatial, funny you said that about iRating. So Spa was the unlimited cut track that, and Spa makes you cut. So since it, even if you weren't trying to, you'd end up cutting. And I dropped from a 4.99, I think, all the way down to like a 1.29. And in Friday night, Saturday's race, I went back to a 4.99. I gained 3.67 iRating, if I'm not mistaken, was the number. So it was a crazy, crazy jump for everyone on the team because it was such a perfect race by the guys. It was a perfect race by the guys. So here is the photo. Tomorrow, I was going to do it today, but it wasn't an advance notice. For the patron guys only, look what we have here. We have another Sam Maxwell wheel. So we are going to do an unboxing, and this one comes to us from Chris Phillips. This is Chris Phillips's personal wheel that he had sent here from Sam Maxwell to me, so we can check it out. And we'll do an unboxing tomorrow with the patron guys, and then we'll expedite that into the review process, which I'm a little backed up. So as soon as I finish this show, it's right into editing, right into filming, and trying to catch up on reviews, because with that 24-hour race, I lost an entire month. No, I lost a week and then some few days beyond that. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. I hope this made your Monday start off good. Get out there, do some racing. Send me some stories. Send me some results. Send me pictures of your rig. Sean at thesimpit.com, and I will make you the star of tomorrow's show. This is The Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.